right today in the National Assembly, you find a very, very peculiar situation, which is not good for democracy. A situation where chairmanship are shared between and amongst more serious and powerful chairmanship offices are given to the PDP than APC. And so you will not find a PDP member standing up to oppose any measure or bill or any budgetary provision request made by the executive of the APC. And so you have a situation where you have one legislature not able to send any opposing view, even if there is something to oppose about what the executive sends. I'm trying to conclude. I want to submit on 2 points. That the legislature makes a mistake, very serious mistake, by thinking that anything that comes from the executive should be passed and should be accepted. No. What Mr. President submits to the legislature is sometimes not well processed by the executive, with apologies. The president is simply one person. When he sees a memo and an action that has been well thought out by the Ministry of Finance and the Ministry of Budget and National Planning, sending a budget or a supplementary budget or second or third supplementary budget to the legislature, Mr. President is not sending it to be passed. It is sending it to be considered. And Mr. President and the government expects that the APC legislators will give a pros to it and will give a tweak to it. And they expect that they will have ideas from the PDP, YPP, and other political parties that will give a thinking to it. Now they expect that the other political parties will ask some questions like, yes, you've brought a bill to extend the 2023 budget to 2024. Good. In this proposal, Mr. President or Mr. Senate President, by this proposal on this budget, which fund are we going to use in funding the 2023 budget in 2024? Are we using the money that we realized in 2023, which is and ought to form part of the carryover funds, unspent funds of 2023, in funding this 2023 extended appropriation to end in 2024 December? Third, Mr. President or Senate President, are we using the 2024 revenue in funding the 2023 extended budget to end in 2024? Mr. President or Senate President, if we use the 2024 revenue to fund extended 2023 budget, how will we fund the 2024 budget? Mr. President or Senate President, if as we are extending this budget, is the budget of 2023 still alive? And can we extend a budget which is dead, which had expired? Mr. President or Senate President, if we are extending this budget, what is the debt situation? How are we going to fund or pay the debt we are owing? Mr. President or Senate President, how much money are we realizing from oil and non-oil that we'll use in funding this budget? What is the revenue profile of this extended budget? These are questions that ought to generate and arise if we were having a kind of situation where the legislature and representation in government, the executive, is made up of persons of different political parties. Even in the cabinet, in the executive council, federal executive council, there would be persons from PDP and all that, according to the number of seats, who would have raised these questions while this matter was being considered at the Federal Executive Council as something that would have given ideas. Therefore, I want to appreciate those who've conceived this and say finally that we should have in the Independent National Electoral Commission, for her to have to have a more confident electoral commission, we should have representations of political parties in INEC as commissioners, national commissioners. Now, a situation where PDP, if it's in government, chooses a Professor Jega, is that not correct? Or APC chooses a Professor Mahmood as chairman. They will still be, and then they choose all the national commissioners. They choose all the state commissioners. And there is a question, which was answered sometimes, to be a member of the INEC, do you need to hold, to be a member of a political party? And the law says that to be qualified to be a member of INEC, either a national commissioner or state, you must be qualified to be a member of the House of Representatives. And being a member of the House of Representatives means you must be a member of a political party. Therefore, this question should be taken very seriously as one of the matters we should discuss and arrive at this venue, whether we should not have a representation of political parties in INEC. Thank you very much, and thank you.